So here we are back at Mission Control. We're going to talk today about something that perplexes all of us at one point or another. It happens a lot when we're younger, usually, but it can happen really at any age. And the question people ask is, why do I keep attracting the same kind of person? Why do I keep attracting the same kind of love interest in my life? Why do I go for that type? Or why does my sister tell me things like, "Oh, you always go for that type," or you bring someone home to meet the family and no one's shocked by the person you brought home because that's the type that you go for, and you went out and found somebody else just like that. And that's fine. It's somebody you're comfortable with. That's what you like, so that's what you are attracted to. So if you've ever asked yourself, why do I keep attracting the same kind of person? It can feel frustrating and it can feel confusing. You can be really confused by that too. And it starts to feel like, am I on a bad streak of luck right now? Do I just have bad luck in love, kind of a thing, right? But there's actually a reason for this, and that's why we're meeting today. That's the topic we have for today. There's something more consistent going on than just a streak of bad luck. We tend to meet people and we tend to be attracted to people and to get along with and communicate better with a certain type of a person because we go out and we find people who are they're at a similar inner condition as us. It's the inner that we are attracted to, whether we are aware of that or not, and probably we're not aware of it, but it's that inner condition. I know the type that when I was younger and dating and all that, I know the type I was attracted to. I can see it clearly now. I couldn't see it clearly then. But those were the types of people. That type of person they were the people with whom I felt most comfortable. So those were the type that, one relationship would end and you go through life a little bit more, and pretty soon you find yourself with somebody else, and they tended to be similar, right? They're not better than us, they're not worse than us, they're just similar, and they're similar on the inside. You see, the kinds of the same kinds of people recognize each other. I recognize myself in someone else. And likewise, if she's attracted to me, for example, she recognizes something about her in me. And so that recognition is what feels familiar. So it's like we ask ourselves without knowing it, do I want to be with someone with whom I am uncomfortable, or do I want to be with someone with whom I am comfortable? And we usually, you would think we choose, I want to be with somebody I'm comfortable with. It's a lot more fun. Why would I be with someone that I am uncomfortable with? I wouldn't do that. I don't care if she was, the richest lady in the world. Nothing external to her would matter. It's just, how do I feel when I'm around her? How do she and I communicate? Do we get each other? Do we understand each other, or are we on totally different wavelengths? So we're attracted to certain people because the same kinds of people recognize each other. It's through recognition, and then we come together. I mean, you've heard birds of a feather flock together. That we're more comfortable around parrots that are like us. You know, birds of a feather flock together. Water seeks its own level, right? We've heard that too. These aren't just sayings, they're observations. People have observed this over the centuries, and they've come up with sayings. I'm my water is a certain level, your water is a certain level, and if it's somewhere around equal, then we match. And you know, you bump into people all over the place that you seem to get along with. You can strike up a conversation, and you're like, wow, I'm here. I am in the middle of, I don't know, I'm at some, could be anywhere, and I just run into somebody, and we start talking, and we feel very comfortable together. So that enables us to communicate right off the bat. So if you keep meeting the same kind of person over and over again, whether that's a man or a woman, it's not random. It's because something in you, something in me is meeting something in them. It's something that's inside of them, something that's just the way they are. It has nothing to do with how they look. Physical, the surface attraction. Sometimes that's like at the very beginning, but after that, it's like, well, what do you have inside you? What are you made of? And that's where the real attraction is. And like if like you've asked somebody, why do you like him, or why do you like her, and they go, well, I don't know, I can't explain it, I like him. I feel good, I feel comfortable, I feel relaxed, I can be me when I'm around them. I don't have to pretend that I'm something I'm not. And these are the people that we tend to be, that we're drawn to, and we end up having relationships with. So this is not about the self observation. It's not about trying to be better than I am. I don't self observe so I can be better. I self observe so I can begin to see myself clearly, and you do so you can see yourself clearly, because you want to see yourself with clarity. Then you don't make mistakes at all. As you begin to observe yourself, you notice your emotions as they come up, your reactions to things that you see and hear. You notice your reactions as they come up. You notice your thoughts, your thinking as it occurs. You notice yourself in action. I need to write something down. I'm going to the store. I better make a list of what I need to buy at the store, or I'll forget. I'll end up back at home, and I'll say, well, I forgot the bread. I mean, it happens, right? So I get a scrap of paper. I reach for a pen, and self-observation means I'm doing things consciously. I reach for the pen. I know I'm reaching for the pen. I know as I reach for the pen, I'm aware and I'm alert of myself. I reach for the pen. The hand is going in, picks up the pen, feels the smoothness of the outer surface of said pen. It's smooth. There's words on it. It says Bic something, round stick, Bic round stick, rhymes. And then the letters on this pen are rough. They were like printed after the pen was made, and the stamp, the machine comes on. But anyway, I can feel that the pen itself is smooth to the touch. I can feel the upraised letters. And then I know that I'm holding this pen, and I write my list out. Okay, what do I need at the store? I need milk, bread, eggs, cereal. I need veggies. I got to get some veggies, eat some veggies at night, right? I need maybe I'll see what's on see what protein's on special, chicken, beef, pork, see what's on, maybe a little fish, whatever, something to saute with some butter, garlic, chives, onion, something tasty. But anyway, I'm making the list, but I reach for the pen and I'm doing it consciously. I'm writing the list and I know that I'm sitting at the desk and I'm writing the list. I'm in awareness. And man, I'm telling you, if you have a list of things in your mind and you're trying to remember, what is it that I need again? If you are aware, you will remember everything that you need. Your mind operates so well when you're working, when you are aware, when you're self-observing, your mind works at an optimum level. It's unbelievable. And there's no time. I'm not thinking about anything right now. I'm not even thinking about, I'm recording a talk for the channel. I'm not thinking about that at all. I'm not thinking about anything except this idea came to mind. Why do I keep attracting the same kind of person in my life? And I thought, hey, that's a topic that I better speak on. So we're not trying to get better than anybody else with self-observation. We're just trying to bring clarity into our own lives. I'm trying to see myself clearly so for the first time I can function properly. I can operate properly, right? And so as I begin to observe myself, thoughts, reactions, emotions, the inner condition, the inner level begins to change. It's like inside of yourself, it begins to raise upward. We discussed the emotional level. The last series of talks were all about the emotions. The lower emotions bring us pain. The higher emotions bring us pleasure. You can actually feel that when you are observing yourself, you're nowhere near the lower emotions. You're up above them. You're nowhere near anger, resentment, grief, apathy, guilt. You're nowhere near any of that. You're flying so high above all of that. I wouldn't really want to I wouldn't want to put myself on the spot. And I know that my level right now, it's above courage. I know it's above the level of courage. There's no pain in courage at all. I don't know where I am beyond courage, but I'm not suffering anything. And thank God thank God that I stumbled upon this when I did and began to study. Thank God. It's unbelievable. It'll save your life, you know. So as our inner condition changes, what I am attracted to begins to change also. Okay, I'm not attracted now to what I used to be attracted to. It's like I don't need that. I'm attracted to something different. Okay, I don't need what I used to be attracted to. I don't need it. It's unnecessary. Okay, and this also explains something that people later say in a relationship. They've been with somebody a while, and they're like, I don't know why I was initially attracted to this person. I can't remember. I mean, what I'm trying to say is this is why people grow apart in relationships. Also, one person changes and the other one doesn't. The other one just stays the exact same way they are. I can think of somebody from my past. I know for a fact she's the exact same thing now than when we parted company a few years ago. But I also know that I've changed. Would I want to go back and spend any time with her? No, not at all. Not at all. two ships passing in the night kind of a situation. But I wouldn't. No, I don't need to. I don't need to at all. So, so later on in a relationship, it's all hot and heavy at first, right? Dessert is served first. There's like a physical attraction or whatever, and you think, hey, she's great, he's great, whatever. But then after a while, you start to notice, like, you see clearly, but it takes time. But if I'm observing myself and my clarity, I can see clearly at the very beginning, comma, then I'm not going to get into the kind of trouble that I used to get into before, where I would have to actually sample something before I knew what it was because I was blind, because I couldn't see. But once you can see self, then you can see other. It's unbelievable. So what's really happening is in a relationship, one person begins to see differently, and that person, whether the man or the woman, and then they go, well, this might have worked a long time ago, or when we first got together, this worked, but it's not working anymore. So if you want something different in your love relationships, all your relationships, the place to begin isn't out there. The place to begin is in here. It's inside you. It's in learning how to observe yourself. And it's called moment to moment impartial self-observation. And that's how you get out. That's how you get out of the mess. That's how you come out from among them, as Christ said, come out from among them. Step forward, be the one, put your hand up and say, yes, I will do it. I'm tired of living in pain. I'm tired of suffering. I will try this. I will find the courage. I will push myself to the emotional level of courage so that I can do something different with my life. I can start fresh, I can do something different, something that really works. So as your understanding changes, and it will, as you're observing yourself, your understanding will come to the fore. It's been said, when there's a problem, what do you do with the problem? You strive to understand the problem, because an understood problem is no problem at all. And an understood problem becomes no problem. The problem vanishes. So we strive for understanding. And first, we strive for self-understanding. How do I understand myself? I observe myself in action. I watch my thoughts as they go through me. I watch the emotions as they arise and then, stay a while and then move on. And I watch reactions. And I don't jump into any of that and grab hold of it. I completely just observe. It's pure observation. I don't get involved with what I see. I am impartial to it. Impartial self-observation. So as your understanding changes, everything connected to your understanding begins to change too. Everything. And if you want a better life, if you want a better exterior, then start to study, start to focus, start to observe yourself in action. If you want a better exterior, start with the interior. Start with self-study, self-observation.